Welcome, travelers. Welcome to Bible Study Devotional, BMX Flatland Learning, where we learn more of the mysteries or just questions and just observations of things of God's Word that we're going to get deeper into. I know these streams are really awkward. They're really they're kind of cringy and stuff, and I honestly can't believe I'm still doing them, but because of the inspirations of so many other believers that do their devotionals and trying to put God first and all that stuff and trying to give God the glory, we've tried to attempt to do that. And honestly, I feel like it's been somewhat like helping me like grow in the faith a lot more, because since we're taking some time to devote into it and try and get into a Bible study, we kind of get deeper into a lot of other stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. By the way, I'm sorry, the Twitch changed their UI on the phone, so I can't, when you guys write a comment or something, I can't really read it, because since I'm streaming it on my phone, I have my phone on the lowest brightness setting, so my phone doesn't overheat, so I can't really see it. Later in the stream, I can see your guys' chat because I'll watch it on here, but I normally look up the Bible stuff on here, so I can't really see the chat in the beginning, so I apologize. Yeah. Anyway, and then we will get into bike riding. Now, here's the weird thing about Flatland. I don't know if it's just me. I'm pretty sure it's not just me, but nobody's really told me that some of these tricks are going to take a really long time. And I don't know if I'm just a really slow learner or if it's just super hard. But for some odd reason, dude, some of these tricks have been feeling like they take forever to learn. It's really but the weird thing is because they take so long to learn, when you do learn them, it is more rewarding. And sometimes I wonder how long did those tricks take that person to learn, right? Because sometimes that's the weird thing, is sometimes when you watch people on Instagram and stuff, they do these crazy combos, right? They're doing 20-point combos. And sometimes you think, is that not as hard as they're making it look like? And then you go and try and you're like, what in the world? I can't even do the first part of it. Anyway, we'll get into that later. Let me plug this phone in. And today, actually, we're going to get into, let me plug this in. We're going to get into something I actually never really thought about too much, honestly, until I think it was yesterday. I think something in the Bible study yesterday made me think of it. But we were going to get into why do people lift their hands up, raise their, why do people make the sign of the cross, I guess, right? When you go to church and stuff sometimes, or just you see other believers, they're always making, they're always lifting their hands up. Not always, not all the time, right? I guess depending on what churches you go to, right? But now this is somewhat related to BMX, because some of the tricks that got me wanting to learn BMX was actually, one trick that got me into Flatland was the switch with stick be no hander, right? When I saw that trick, it was what in the world? It almost well, the first off, what was weird is that there was these two riders, right? I kind of want to leave them a bit of a mystery, but I think if you ride Flatland, you probably know who they are. But what's weird about these two riders, right, is they both promoted the gospel and God and stuff, and then they both would do this trick. And I'm just what in the world? It was just so weird, right? And they both would do the switch with stick be no hander, right? Because it almost I feel like it almost kind of looks like a cross, right? And so that's what made me want to learn that trick in the first place. And I guess it's something with I guess it kind of looks like a cross, and maybe there's some sort of correlation of, trying to pick up your own cross or something like that. And I'm wondering now, because now I've never really looked it up, but I've looked, it's when you see other believers and they're in worship and stuff and they throw their arms up, right? Is that just the sign of the cross? And I know there's the other sign of the cross, right? It's but I'm just wondering, is there I think it might be because of the Isaiah verse, right? Because there is a verse in Isaiah, and when I think about it, right, it says something along the lines of like, I can't even. I can't even remember the verse. It's like something about eagles' wings. Something about they will soar on wings as eagles. And I go, is that why people throw their arms up? Is there? And that's what we're gonna go into, right? That's what we're gonna go into today, and we're also kind of like on the quest because like we're almost kind of like on this weird quest for me personally. It's just like I want to learn as many tricks that resemble a cross, right? Because of the inspirations of that one verse of saying like, take up your cross daily or something like that, right? Now I know that means many different things. Well, maybe we should get into that too. I mean, maybe that's why people do that, but we're gonna look that up. Why do people? Let's look up. Should we look? Why do people make the sign of the cross? Make the sign of the cross. Now I think there's two signs of the cross, right? Because I know there's the Catholic sign of the cross as well. Let's see here. Wait, okay, that's not that. Okay, that's the other sign of the cross. Let's see. What should I put in? Why do people lift their arms up? Why do believers lift their arms up? Would that be it? Why do believers lift their arms up? Okay, so this is the very first thing that came up. I don't know how right it is. I'm actually really curious. Like, do you guys know that? Because I've never really looked it up, right? It's just like it's just such a normal thing, right? You just think, oh, it's just normal, right? But like when I look deeper in, I'm like, wait a minute, I honestly don't even know why we do this, like in the first place, right? I've never really heard like a pastor really mention it. I've never really like looked it up. I've never really like overheard people talking about it, right? And I'm thinking it might be something to do with like picking up your own cross or something like that, or like I think it had something to do with Isaiah, honestly, because in Isaiah it says something about they will soar on wings as eagles, right? And like, if you think about soaring, when I think about an eagle soaring, I think about their wings stretched out, right? I mean, is that it? I don't know. So okay, let's see here. The first one says, these worshipful gestures may symbolize our desire to reach out and touch God, to invite his presence into our lives, and to unite ourselves with a person outside of ourselves. Huh, interesting. And that was on citizentimes.com. I've never seen that site in my entire life. I don't know why it came up first, but I guess maybe a lot of people clicked on it. This one says, this is gracema.org. Dude, there's so many interesting sites. I'm just like, what? It's so strange, right? It's like, I've never seen some of these sites, but then when I look up this question, these sites come up. I'm like, what in the world? Okay, let's see what this gracema.org says. What does it mean to lift our hands in worship? In our times of worship, you might see people raising their hands. Perhaps this is new to you. Perhaps this purpose of lifted hands. For some, it's a sign of surrender to God. It may be an act of adoration and praise, or it can be a visible expression of our dependence. What we do know is that the Bible affirms the lifting of hands in worship. David was a songwriter and worshiper, and he writes, I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. Oh wow, I never even knew that. That's Psalm 63:4. What in the... It's been in here the whole time? Bro, I don't even remember. It's kind of weird. I guess I just never really like took notice of it, to be honest. But no, I'm actually wondering, like, does it say the same thing in here? Let's see here. Let's underline it, if it is. 63:4. 63:4. 63, sorry. I want to actually oh my goodness. Dude, this is actually a page I have nothing underlined. Look at that. There's nothing on this entire page that we have underlined. That was actually one of my goals. Now I know it's a strange goal, but actually when I got this little Gideon's Bible, right? It's like a little Gideon's pocket Bible, right? I wanted to make it a goal to try and underline something on one page, right? Now I know that's not something that you have to do, but I think it's kind of fun to do that sometimes. And then sometimes what I found is when you start underlining things, you can start like figuring out almost like these combos, right? Like, oh, that combo, and then that verse actually makes me think of this verse, and then that verse makes me think of that verse, and then it's almost like this long string combo. It almost actually feels like a combo, like in Flatland. It's kind of funny. It's like we're having a session the word, right? Like, what combos can we find, right? And I feel like this is what makes. I don't know if like. By the way, take that with a grain of salt. I don't know like if I should be calling them combos or like links or something like that, but I don't even know if that's how you're supposed to do it. But I'm going to be quite honest, if you listen to other believers talk, and even just pastors and people that do their devotionals and Bible studies, that's basically what they're doing, is that they're just like finding these combos, and then they put these combos together, and then they think about like other aspects of like their past, things that are in the present, things that are occurring right now, and then they all just like kind of just like it all just like mixes all together, right? And it's just such a man, and I feel like that is one of the reasons why one pastor told me that the word of God is the well that never runs dry, because it's like this never-ending like thing that we can keep, like basically we're getting our sustenance from, right? Because this is supposed to be the bread of life, right? Okay, let's see here. 63:4. What does this one say? Oh, wow, I do not have that one underlined. Let's underline it right now. So I will bless you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. Man. Wow. A psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. It's actually... Man, that's very interesting, huh? Let's read Psalm 63. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. Man, that's gnarly to think about. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory, because your steadfast love is better than life. My lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul will be satisfied as with fat and rich food, and my mouth will praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the watches of the night. For you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. My soul clings to you. Your right hand upholds me. But those who seek to destroy my life shall go down to the depths of the earth. They shall be given over to the power of the sword, and they shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear by him shall exult, for the mouths of liars will be stopped. Very interesting. I would have never thought to bring this verse up, and now I'm going to remember this verse when I think about like lifting of hands. And see, that's the other weird thing, is that this is what David wrote when he was in the wilderness, right? And I know now I don't know if like the weird thing about the wilderness, right? It's just such I feel like it's not only just like, oh, we're just living out, or you may just be living outside. I honestly think that there's also like, well, maybe not think, but I've heard other believers say we all kind of have our own like wilderness experiences, right? It's not just flat out, well, maybe it is sometimes you might get in that situation where you might just have to flat out live outside, right? But, in some wilderness cases, it might even just be a lacking of something that you think that you need, right? It's very interesting. And it's just really interesting when you start meeting like homeless believers, right? Like there are some mysterious homeless believers that were just like, it is straight up just mysterious. Like I've only met 4 people probably in my entire life, and for some reason they were all in Long Beach.
Now, I don't know if they were lying to me. I feel like they weren't lying to me because they were very sincere about and they were very sincere about it. They were very content. They were very almost confident, and they had a lot of scripture within them, and it was really weird. But I only met like 4 of them, right, where they said that they've like left all their possessions and went to just follow God. Imagine that. Can you just imagine doing that? Like, that is just such a, man, that is just such a gnarly, that's like full on. Are you really going to trust God like, can you really trust God that much, right? Imagine just giving up everything, like everything that you have. Like, it almost seems so paradoxical to do in our modern society, right? You go, well, don't you need a bank account? Don't you need education? Don't you need all this other stuff? It's like, but it's now please take my words with a big grain of salt, because I don't want people just being like, oh, we're just going to go do that, right? I think now I actually don't really know too much about it. I just feel like if God did place you in that situation, that there would have to be some like full on, like, you're going to have to get like some okays from God before you do something that brash, I guess, and that's scary. Honestly, I feel like that is just one of the most monumentally scary things you could probably ever even try and do, because sometimes it's like, if you get to that point, sometimes you can't go back, right? It's like you're full on in it, man. Like, and it's like, it's weird. I've only met 4, like, maybe even it's only like 3, but I'm pretty sure it was like 4 believers, and they were all in Long Beach, and they were just like full on, and like, I met them, dude, and like, dude, like, they're just such a, it's like another like realm of Christianity. Like, that is like Christianity where it's just like full on, like, man, it's just so gnarly. And sometimes it's like, I imagine even just saying, man, it's just weird. It's even just strange for me to think about. Have you guys out there, have you guys met believers that have literally said that they've given up everything and just let God just they're just following God, right? It's just like, man, does that not sound strange? That is some scary stuff. So, but take my word with a grain of salt. I don't want you guys like just going out and like getting rid of everything. I think if that is a calling upon your life, I think God is definitely going to be like showing you some major like things before you do something like that. So, anyway, but I'm just thinking about that, and I'm thinking about thinking about the wilderness and just that aspect, right? Because when we think about the wilderness, I think about, like many other believers, right, about Moses being led in the wilderness. What's also weird about the wilderness is the first Bible commentary book. Actually, I need to get it again, but the first like Bible study book that I read was the Life Application Bible, right? That was the first one. I actually found it on the street in Long Beach. I was in one of the most scariest times where it was like such a confusing time in my life, and I straight up find a giant leather-bound Life Application Bible. Now, I actually gave it away. I gave it to one of my friends because it seemed like he needed it. And it was like, and it was like this, I just found this Bible just straight on the street, man, at night. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I found this Bible on the street, and I'm like, and what was weird is when I found this Bible, right, like, I thought it was somebody's Bible, right? And I'm like, oh, and then like I ride to Cherry Park. It's this park in Long Beach, right? And there is this one dude, this other mysterious dude, and he was like, he told me, he was like, that Bible is probably for you. And I'm like, I don't know, right? And because it was just such a strange, like, it felt like an RPG game, bro. Like, I was riding my bike on the street, right? And I see this giant, it was like a big Life Application. Like, if you go to Barnes & Noble now and you see the Life Application Bibles, they're like little ones, right? But it was like this tome, bro. It was like a full-on like leather like tome. Like, it looked like a Paladin book. It was gnarly. And I like passed by it. I'm like, oh, should I pick that up? And I'm like, no, that's probably somebody's Bible, right? And I was like, no, I'm not going to touch it. It's kind of creepy. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to touch that. We're just going to keep riding, right? And I'm like, okay, we'll just keep riding. I go back to the park, and then I meet one of my other friends there, and he was like, well, it's probably for you, man. And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, you should go and see if it's still there. And I'm like, all right. And then we like waited like a couple hours and stuff, and then I go back to go and see it, and it's still there. And I'm like, what in the world? And it was like nobody else is on the street. It's like foggy on the street, right? Because Long Beach is right by the ocean. And it's like foggy and stuff, dude. And there's just like this tome Bible, bro. It like straight up looked like it was like bro, it was weird. It was super strange. But anyway, because I found that actually made me read the entire Life Application Bible, right? From that, like, because I, like, was kind of reading it a little bit, right? Like, the Bible a little bit. But then, like, when I found that, dude, it was like, it's so strange when you find things. I think those are the strangest gifts. Like, I think those are the best gifts, honestly. The best gifts are the ones that, like, well, to me personally, is the ones that I didn't really even, like, ask for, honestly, or just, like, or I didn't go out and just have a bunch of money and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy that because I need that right now. I'm going to buy that. The best gifts that I found are the ones that are just somehow they just randomly just, like, either somebody gives you them or just you just find them, right? And it's just like, those ones are just very mysterious. Like this thing right here, right? Like this thing that I have right here, right? So this is like the thing that I found. I found this in Long Beach too on the street, right? This raven. I found a dead. I mean, I guess that's not really a gift, but I did find a dead raven. It was the only dead raven I've ever found, and I harvested its talon because it reminded me of Elijah, right? And yeah. So I have this raven, this real. It's like petrified now. It's like, man, that thing's just so weird. See, that's the other weird thing, man. Oh, I wish I still would have had that Bible, man. But I mean, I gave it to my friend. He needed it. He was going through some crazy stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, like it kind of looked like this one. It kind of looked like it actually almost like this one, except it was bigger. It was like that, and it was like this tome, bro. It was like I was like, what in the world? And it was all like, dude, it was gnarly. It was a gnarly Bible that I found. I wonder where it is right now. That's the other weird thing. What if it's just being passed around, just out in Long Beach? It's just getting passed around. That would be so weird, huh? That would be so strange. Anyway, how did we get into all this stuff? And we went into lifting of hands, right? Oh yeah, because we're talking about Moses. Oh yeah. That's why I brought up the Life Application Bible. Okay, so in the Life Application Bible, I don't really remember where it is. But I do remember it bringing something up about prophets, right? About prophets and like, cause like, like the Life Application Bible, it has like, it's like this, right? Like it has like the verses, but then at the bottom, it has like a commentary section, right? And sometimes it goes in the not ever for every single verse, right? But it has some commentary. And I remember one of the commentaries down here was talking about the prophets, right? And how, like, if you study a lot of the prophets, right? A lot of the prophets at times, God put them out in the wilderness, right? He made them go and live out these very unorthodox lives, like outside, right? And what's weird is like that what the Life Application Bible was saying. Now, I don't know if this is full on correct, so take it with a grain of salt, right? But what the Life Application Bible is, as far as I remember, they were saying that sometimes God puts some believers, or maybe even in terms of like prophets, and like seers and stuff like that, he makes them live these very unorthodox lives, almost like out in the wilderness, right? Because God wants to separate some people, right? in order for them to finally almost like maybe listen, or maybe like pay attention, or just like just get like a whole, like just to, because like I feel like, imagine if Moses and them just never went out in the wilderness, or like, Elijah never went by the brook, or like, John, never went out in the wilderness and lived on locusts and wild honey and stuff like that, right? So that's the other weird thing, right? And I think what the Life Application was saying is sometimes when God separates like the prophets like that, they can like hear God more, or like hear God better, or something like that. I don't know if that's fully correct, right? Because I never really like did my own due diligence of my own study of why God separated people out like that, but they did say something like that. So as far as I remember. Okay, let's see here. Let us see here. What else is this one to say? Oh wow, this one's going to bring up Moses too. Let's see here. From the time of Moses to the early church, it was common to lift up your hands in prayer to God. Exodus 9:29 and 1 Timothy 8:2. So that, okay, interesting. When King Solomon prayed at the temple, we read how he also spread out his hands toward heaven. No doubt he had often watched his father David do the same thing. Huh. The prophets came before the Lord in similar ways. In an act of humility, Ezra tells, I fell on my knees and my hands spread out to the Lord. Ezra 9:5. And during the worship, he stood and praised the Lord and God, and all the people lifted their hands and responded, Amen. Nehemiah 8:9 and Lamentations 2:19. Whether it's lifting our hands or kneeling or bowing our heads or closing our eyes, the most important posture is our heart posture. Am I surrendered to God? Have I received fresh forgiveness and determined out of love for him to take away from sin? Am I taken by his greatness, his beauty, his majesty, and power? Intriguing. See, they didn't even bring up the verse that why did I thought about a totally different verse. They didn't even bring up any of the verses that I thought of, right? So take my verse that I thought of with a grain of salt, right? Because now I'm thinking about, they will soar on wings as eagles. They will soar on wings like eagles. That's Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Don't you think that one I feel like that one reminds me of lifting up your hands, right? They shall mount up with wings as eagles. What does the ESV version say? But they who wait up for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Here's the weird thing, right? Because I feel like some people say, oh, well, just the... Because I know, the reason why I also have that verse in my mind is because I have drawn a lot of characters with, wings and stuff. And I have received some comments saying, oh, well, don't the angels just have wings and stuff like that? It's only the angels that have wings, right? But sometimes I would bring up that verse right there because, if you read this verse, it says, it's not only the angels will have wings. It says, but those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles, right? So that's why I started drawing a lot of characters with wings. Whether it be angels or not, right? I don't know. That's why I did it. Take that with a big grain of salt, though. I'm probably wrong on that as well, but that's what I like to bring up anyway. Let's look up some more stuff on this stuff. Lifting up your hands. Okay, so it seems like a lot of it's on lifting up your hands. Let's look up that. Lifting up your hands. Why do believers lift their hands up? Okay. Oh, there's something on Christianity.com. Let's read this one. Oh, hey, somebody said something. I'm sorry, I can't see the chat at the moment. I apologize. So the Twitch changed their UI thing, and I have my phone at the lowest brightness setting. I can read the chat later on because I'll actually be watching this. I'll have the stream open on here, but I'm doing the Bible study on. I'm looking up the site, so I apologize if I can't see your guys' chat right now. They really need to fix that technical thing because it used to be where I could see the chat behind the phone when my phone was at the lowest brightness, but now it's not. So I apologize. Okay, so this is on Christianity.com. It says, why do we raise our hands in worship? When we express our worship to God in heartfelt and biblical ways, we can rest assured that our actions are giving the glory that God is due, while simultaneously pointing others to Him and helping instigate their own worshipful expression. Bro, that is such a trip right there, man. Just even thinking about just the trick that got me into Flatland, right? The switch with stick being no-hander, right? Or even just the cliffhanger, or just when I saw those tricks, it just it reminded me of the cross. And it was just so weird. And not only was it just that, but it was just the other believers that I met that rode Flatland. I'm just bro, it's so weird. And it almost just the sentence, this couple sentences that we read, it almost made me a little bit more inspired to get into scripture, right? Even just observing those guys do that stuff, it almost somehow inspired me just a little bit more to look into God's word, right? And this is kind of where I'm at right now, right? I almost feel if anything tethers us back into God's word, even just a little bit, right? That somehow God could maybe use that. Even if it is maybe really unorthodox, or maybe even if some people might even think that seed of faith is not what you should be trying to do, right? I feel like if it is trying to get you closer to God's word and even just make you go and peer into it and want you to get deeper into God's word, I feel like God can maybe use that. Now, I think that's ultimately up to you and the Lord of how that is occurring. So that is somewhat subjective, but that's in where I'm at in the faith. I feel like that's kind of where I'm at, right? And if we can somehow help to guide people to get more inspired to get into God's word, I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. And honestly, I think that's it goes into seeking first the kingdom of God, and it goes into Matthew 13, right? About, you know, how even the Lord Jesus Christ, he himself says the kingdom of God is like people that go out and sow seed out into the field. And what is the seed? The seed is the word of God, right? So, anyway, let's read this. While Christian denominations and churches across the world have much more in common than they do different, evangelical churches especially share similar major doctrines: leadership structures, membership, expectations, outreach strategies, Bible study approaches, teaching techniques, policies, and ordinances. Most churches that gather for corporate worship even have similar elements in their services, such as singing, praying, taking up an offering, teaching, and opportunity to respond. However, exactly how churches go about expressing themselves in their worship can be very distinct from church to church and culture to culture. Why did they use the word culture to culture? That's a weird word to use right there. And that is actually a very funny word to use. That it's so hilarious that Christianity.com Christianity.com used the word culture to culture, right? Now, see, what's weird about the word culture, difficult, agriculture. Now, it's actually very strange. Now, here's the other weird thing, right? Now, I know this might get frowned upon a bit, in some degrees, right? But I think it is important to be aware of, right? Now, the thing is that there are some words. You know how, like when you look into words sometimes, especially if you go deeper into, like, the Hebrew meaning and the Greek meaning of words, sometimes, like, those definitions of the words are way different than what we have today, right? And there are some words, even like the word cult, right? C-U-L-T, right? I think most people have a negative association with that word cult, right? But what's weird about that word is I watched this Christian documentary, and they were going into even the Lord Jesus Christ and his following when it first started, when Christianity first started. What's hilarious about that word is that the Roman leaders at the time and the Jewish leaders at the time actually considered the first sect of Christianity, of the Lord Jesus Christ, like his like thing that he sprouted, they considered it a cult. That's the most ironic thing about it all, right? And what's weird is I know that word does have a lot of negative connotations to it, right? There's many actually different, but what's strange about the word cult is it actually goes way deeper into so many other things, right? Because if you go like deeper into the Latin, I think it might be the Latin or like the Hebrew meaning of the word cult. I think it's the Latin word of cult. Cult basically stems from the word agriculture. Agriculture, horticulture, it means even culture, even the word culture, even what they used right here, even the word culture. Basically what they were saying is that the word cult is basically, what it means is to grow. Like in a simplest term, it means to grow. Like it's like agriculture, right? It's like these things. It's very interesting, right? And it's but the other thing is, I think the other good thing to be aware of is that there are like bad cults, and there are, in some cases, if you think about the definitions of some words, right? There's good cults, right? And that's the other interesting thing, and it's good to know, various degrees of that. But take all that with a grain of salt. We can actually, let's look that up right now. Where is it? There's like an old Latin definition of those words and stuff. Where it be? Mm. But yeah, that word goes into a lot of things. It's very, very intriguing. I'm trying to find it. Let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, I know there's so much stuff that went into it because I've found it. And I've actually heard some other pastors bring it up too. That was the weird thing. I don't want to say the pastors' names, but it is actually very interesting. There's some there's some really big ones that actually have brought up those words and stuff and how it relates to agriculture and stuff. Basically, it means agriculture to grow. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Looking deeper into the meaning of the word cult, there's actually a lot of substance to it, and it's derived in so many other words. It's actually very interesting. The thing to be aware of is that there are good cults and bad ones. There are good cults and bad ones. And as Jesus Christ tells us how we can tell in Matthew 7:20, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. The Latin root cult means grow. Okay, so that's what it means. So in the Latin root definition of the word cult, it means to grow. This Latin root is the word origin of a good number of English vocabulary words, including culture, cultivate, and horticulture. The root cult is easily recalled via the word agriculture, for agriculture is the growing of plants via farming. Cultivate or cult and grow your vocabulary. The Latin root cult means grow. We cultivate knowledge of English vocabulary words we have grown from the root cult. Culture is often characterized by things which a group of people have developed or grown over time, such as laws, art, language, act. Different cultures can cultivate themselves by carefully growing in different endeavors such as music, architecture makes societies or people who are uncultured haven't grown or developed very much at all. So that's the weird thing, right? It's very strange to even think about that, right? So even just thinking about the word uncultured or even culture, right? It's so strange that some people will use these words, right? And there's so many words that this goes into, right? And it's strange that we use these words like they're just nothing, right? But if you look deeper into a lot of these meanings of these words, they're derived from many other words. It's just, isn't that so strange? And that's just a strange word. That's the strange thing about this word. In a very short period of time, such as cyberculture, of those behaviors and habits have grown from the use of computers and internet. For instance, some cultural emphasis might be on agriculture or the growing of food by farmers. Those farmers might focus on horticulture or the growing of plants and gardens, or a farmer could focus on pisciculture, the growing of fish for consumption by humans. Then there are aviculturists who grow or raise agriculturists who grow or raise birds, viticulturists who grow grapes specifically for making wine, and arboriculturists who specialize in growing trees. There's a lot of culture lists, right? Festivals often have multicultural activity which feature customs grown from many different cultures. And if you're new to one of these many cultures, you would have to acculturate yourself, that is, grow towards the customs, habits, and behaviors of the people to whom you are new. You need no longer consider yourself uncultured, in English words that grew from cults, having now cultivated your knowledge of vocabulary grown from cults. Oh my goodness. Now see that is the Latin I want to reiterate that is the Latin definition of those words, but still the Latin version of those words still go into culture, into agriculture, into horticulture, into cultivate, into I even think like difficult. I don't even really know, right? Now, see, this is the modern definition of the word cult. Modern definition of cult is a particular system of religious worship, especially with reference to its rites and ceremonies, an instance of great veneration as a person, ideal, or thing, especially as manifested by a body of admirers. The object of such devotion, a group or sect bound together by veneration of the same thing, person, ideal, a religious regarded as unorthodox or spurious. Man, that is a very interesting word. It really is. It's so strange that it's just derived in so many other words. It's so interesting. Like that word goes into so many other words. It's it's very intriguing actually. Anyway, let's get back to this commentary. Why did I even get into that? How in the world did we look up that? Oh wait, it's because okay. It's because Christianity.com brought up culture. So if you see that word, if you see anything, and honestly, if we think about it, like agriculturists, like how they were saying agriculturists are people that grow trees, would be what we would be kind of considered as in the body of believers? Let's look into Matthew 13. So Matthew 13 is talking about the parable of the sower, right? So let's see here. Where is it? Let's read Matthew 13. Because I honestly think now I think about it in terms of agriculturalists, people that grow trees. Would that be what we would be kind of in? But we would be growing seeds of faith. Let's just read this. Let's read Matthew 13. The same day Jesus went out of the sea and sat beside the sea, and great crowds gathered about him, so that he got into a boat and sat down, and the whole crowd stood on the beach. He told them many things in parables, saying, a sower went out to sow, and he sowed. Some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched. Since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears, let him hear. Then the disciples said to him, why do you speak to them in parables? And he answered them, to you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. Indeed, in their case, the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled, saying, you will indeed hear, but never understand, and you will indeed see, but never perceive. For this people's hearts have grown dull, and with their ears they can barely hear, and with their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your eyes, for they hear. For truly I say to you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you see, and did not see it, and to hear what you hear, and did not hear it. Hear then the parable of the sower. Anyone who hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is what was sown along the path. As for what was sown on rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but endures for a while. And when tribulation or persecution arises on account of the word, immediately he falls away. As for what was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it proves unfruitful. As for what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yields, in one case 100-fold, in another 60, and another 30. See, that's the other interesting thing. Or even just thinking about Matthew 13:23, right? Jesus wants us to be bearing a lot of fruit, right? And even John brings it up too. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, right? And even David brings it up in Psalms 1 about us being fruitful, right? He put another parable before them, saying, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field, right? And that's Matthew 13:24. So if we are called to seek first the kingdom of God, right? And Jesus is likening the kingdom to people that go out and sow seed in the field. What is the seed? The seed is the word of God, right? And then it's just interesting because if we go a little bit deeper into this, it says, it is the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. Man, I love the parable of the sower. The parable of the sower has basically inspired the Great Commission in so many people. If you look up the Great Commission and you look up things about the Great Commission, it goes so deep, thousands and thousands of years of people getting inspired by the same words, right? I mean, they're probably listening. They probably actually read probably the Latin version of the Bible and stuff like that as well, like way deep Hebrew, Greek, which I actually don't know Hebrew and Greek. That would be a very interesting thing to get into, is to get into Hebrew and Greek. Okay, well, we talked about the parable of the sower, and it kind of reminds me of agriculturalists. If I'm probably not saying it right. Agriculturalists are people that grow trees. So we need to keep growing trees in people and keep watering their faith, and hopefully they will become like trees and start bearing fruit. Okay, let's see here. But despite those distinctions, one of the many common means of worship expression, in addition to singing and raising or lifting hands, okay, that's what we're into. We're getting into why believers lift their hands up. Man, I get so sidetracked. That's the other weird thing, is I'll read something in some of these commentaries, and then it just goes into a whole nother, I wonder, should I not be doing that? I'm kind of wondering, should I just, see, if I would have just stayed on topic, right? If I would have just, stayed, okay, we're just doing this, I'm not going to say anything, we're just going to read this, right? But because I read some of this, and I'm wondering, if that's what happens to other people, because that's what happens to me now, right? I'll read something, and it's either that starts reminding me of a verse or something, or that what the words that they use start reminding me of something, and then I start getting totally, off track. Maybe not off track, but, it just makes it a lot longer. And I'm like, oh, man, maybe if I would have just, imagine if I would have just did this Bible study and not even said anything of what I was thinking about, right? Maybe that's how I should be doing them, right? Because, I don't know, maybe I should not be saying things that I really think about, but... Okay, let's try to finish this. What does raising our hands mean? In general, the act of raising your hand or hands can have quite a few different meanings. For example, you might be trying to get someone's attention, ask a question, or simply put yourself in a disarming or surrendering position. Someone might raise their hands to be picked up, such as a small child in front of their parents, to be hugged, or to reach for something above them. Many exercises or sports incorporate raised hands, also to stretch, catch a ball, or signal for a pass. It is also common for people to raise their hands in approval of a decision at a meeting, in appreciation of music or a concert, or a celebration of a play at a sporting event, especially if their team is winning. Oh, that is actually another interesting thing, huh? Think about. Depending on the context and intent of the person, raising an open hand, a pointed finger, or a closed fist could carry different meanings as well. The act of raising hands is so common that it seems to be natural and even possible involuntary. What does the Bible say about raising our hands? There is no shortage of Bible verses that encourage or command God's people to raise their hands in worship. David sang in Psalms 134, 1-3, "Come, bless the Lord, all you servants of the Lord, who stand by the night of the house of the Lord. Lift up your hands to the holy place and bless the Lord." Holy Toledo, there's another psalm. Bro, they didn't even bring up that psalm. That's Psalms 134. Man, there's just so much lore, dude. It's so gnarly. It's so weird that we read two commentaries on this one, and the first commentary didn't even bring up Psalms 134. Isn't that weird? I feel like Psalms 134, man, that one's a super gnarly one, about lifting up your hands. And it's so weird. I never even knew this. Like I've never really like looked into this. This is like the first time I'm like actually looking up this question. So I'm sorry if this Bible study is a little longer than most. Wow. Okay, so let's underline this one. Where's my blue? Okay, got the blue pencil. Okay, so man, I don't even have anything underlined on this page either. Dude, look at that. Dude, that's so hilarious. The pages I have nothing underlined in are the pages that have the the stuff on it. Okay, let's underline this one. Come, bless the Lord, all you servants of the Lord, who stand by night in the house of the Lord. Lift up your hands into the holy place and bless the Lord. May the Lord bless you from Zion, who made the heaven and the earth. Bro, that last part right there is in so many reggae songs, honestly. Dude, that's gnarly. Do other people know about that? I never knew about that. So we were actually called to lift up our hands. That's so weird. I never really like knew that. I thought it was just like something that just people just did out of like, I don't know, like making the sign of the cross or something. But man, it's like that is literally what David is saying. David is saying, lift up your hands to the holy place and bless the Lord, man. That's so gnarly. Okay, well that literally has just given me so much more zeal to just try and learn as many tricks that remind me of the cross as, you know. Isn't that weird? Okay, let's see here. Several other verses consider on this topic. Therefore, I want men in every place to pray, lift up holy hands without wrath and dissension. Wow. That's 1 Timothy 2:8. Let's go into 1 Timothy 2:8. What in the world? 1 Timothy 2:8. I'm going to underline it with the same color. So now we have a full-on new combo that we just found. 1 Timothy 2:8. 1 Timothy 2:8. Interesting. Let's underline this one now. I'm underlining it with the same color. I desire that men in every place should pray, lifting holy hands without anger or quarreling. That's the other weird thing, right? Because I'm wondering, well, what? Because then sometimes this confuses me, right? Because now this is saying to pray in every place, but also Jesus is saying to keep prayer secret, right? But I guess Jesus doesn't say to not keep holy hands secret, right? To lifting them up without anger or quarreling. We are to not be angry. Okay, what else is this going to say? Then Aaron lifted up his hands toward the people and blessed them. Leviticus 9:22. Then Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of the assembly of Israel and spread out his hands toward heaven. 1 Kings 8:22. Man. Indeed, I lift up my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever, Deuteronomy 32:40. Man, there are a lot of verses that say that. Okay, let's see here. Let's try and get this done here. It is helpful at this point to understand that the most common word used for worship in the New Testament is prosaikineo, which means to kiss. This demonstration of love, appreciation, or worth giving can be seen when the subject lays on the ground and kisses the feet of their king. We see the physical expression of worship exemplified. When we are worshiping God, whether in singing, talking, praying, or shouting, we extend or lift our hands to God to physically signify our intentions, to asking for or accept a blessing, to make ourselves vulnerable and open to the Holy Spirit's ministry in our hearts, as opposed to closing our fists and crossing our arms. To direct our praise upward to God through the pointing of our arms and hands, even to cheer for the victory we have in Christ over sin, death, and hell. You may have noticed raising our hands in worship can carry some of the very same meanings as it does in other times. God created us in such a way that what we do reflects what we believe and what we love. That is why the author of Lamentations wrote, "We lift up our heart and hands toward God in heaven." Lamentations 3:41. Man, there's another verse. The prophet Habakkuk even pictured the earth as lifting its own hands up to God in praise. Man, Habakkuk 3:10. Bro, I did not know that there's like 20 verses about lifting our hands up. It's so strange. It's like so weird that and they didn't even bring up the verse that I thought of. That's the hilarious thing. Right? I thought of Isaiah about they shall soar on wings as eagles, right? But man, this commentary is actually really long. I'm like halfway through. I don't know if I'm going to finish this. I'm sorry, everybody. These Bible studies take a really long time now. Like, I'm not even halfway done. This is about lifting our hands up. Like, we probably could have like put this into like 3 normal Bible studies, and we just tried to do it in one. Oh my goodness. This one says, "What if we are not comfortable raising our hands? Why does this matter? Oh my goodness, that's gnarly." And that was from Robert Hampshire. Intriguing. Well, I guess that was the Bible study. Very interesting one. I never and see, that's the weird thing about doing these Bible studies, right? Because it's like I didn't even know. See, so most of these Bible studies, I kind of know like at least some things that we're getting into, right? This one, I was just like, I don't know what we're getting into. Okay, I'm gonna open up the stream. Actually, we're gonna do a card draw. That's what we're gonna do. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Let's see a card draw. I didn't even see if the stream was even working. Is the stream even working? Hopefully I haven't just been speaking into the ether. Man, it's so weird. These Bible studies normally take like an hour. Dude. That's really... It's like I do not have a timer. I'm actually really trying to speed I would like these Bible studies to be like maybe 20 minutes. But like I always end up like doing these Bible studies and like... Dude, it's like... Man, there's just like... I almost feel like I feel like I could split these Bible studies up, right? I could be like, I probably could do 1 Bible study for 3 Bible studies in the week, right? But the thing is like sometimes like, I like just thinking about the question and then just looking up right on the spot, right? Because then that opens up me, just looking it up, because I feel like if I were to look up some stuff tomorrow or something like that, I would forget, right? Unless I like wrote it down. I'm like, okay, I have to look that up or look this up or look that up. And then I feel like it would just break up it would break up the flow of it, right? That's what I think of anyway. It would break up the flow of the Bible study. Because that's why I like doing these Bible studies. They're kind of more like, just like improvisational, right? And like, I don't know if I'm doing them right. By the way, take my word and grain of salt. I don't know if I'm doing these Bible studies right. You're kind of like seeing me like how I'm like doing these Bible studies, but it's kind of like a thing of Bible study and then trying to remember scripture and then trying to like think about things, and I don't even know if I'm doing it right. And they're really awkward, but we're going for it. They are fun. That's the other weird thing. I kind of like it improvisationally because it makes it more fun for me. Because I feel like if I did do these Bible studies and I just like had a piece of paper and I'm like, I'm going to say this. I honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I feel like I'll get bored of doing that. I just feel like I feel like I'd get bored of doing that, and I feel like I'd just be like, I feel like I'd just honestly just like I would get anxiety because I'd be like, oh, did I just say the wrong thing? And I know that's the thing, and that's why I always say take my return to salt, because like I might be saying some things that, people might not agree with or something like that, and I really hope that I'm not like leading people astray. I really hope I'm not doing that, but it's also, like that one scripture that says, from the heart the mouth speaks, so ultimately, hopefully I'm being real. If there's anything, hopefully I'm being somewhat real in these Bible studies, because that's what we're trying to do. Okay, let's see what we draw today. Let us see here. Here, I'm going to do this on my Instagram. I like doing the single card draw. Actually, maybe I should do the full card draw and then just show the cards after. I think that's what I'm going to start doing. Yeah, that's what we'll start doing. Oh, darn, this thing's kind of broken now. I had to, like, tape my stand up. Okay, let's cut this. Cut, 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 cut. Okay. It's like always, like, now I like finding the combos in this stuff right here, right? Like, what combos I'm drawing. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's so funny. This is the very first card we drew. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see your guys' chat. I'm sorry, I can't see your guys' chat. Staff of the Wild Magus. Man, dude. Twitch needs to fix that because I can't read your guys' chat. I feel so bad not being able to respond to you guys. Anyway, Staff of the Wild Magus. This reminds me of Aaron. Because Aaron had the staff that budded. Number 2. Tireless Missionaries. Tireless Missionaries. What does this one say? If they succeed in their holy work, their order will vanish into welcome obscurity, for there will be no more souls to redeem. Tireless Missionaries. It's a cool looking card, huh? I think it's a cool looking card. Tireless Missionaries. 2. Ooh. Sir Tommy Sear. 4. Ooh. A spirit card. Twilight Drover. Twilight Drover. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, we got Angel of Glory's Rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Celsnia Sanctuary. We got the Frank Frazetta card. Yippee! Okay, let's put this out. I'll just put it out just like this, and we could do it like so. Okay. I need to get it somehow it stays in the light. In the lights! Am I in it? Okay, I'm in it. Welcome, travelers. I'm kind of going to do it a little bit differently now. I'm going to do the 7 card draw. Because the single card draw, I've been drawing a lot of the same cards, so now we get to see the combos of many cards. We got Staff of the Wild Magus, kind of reminds me of Aaron's Budded Staff. We got Tireless Missionaries. We got Soratami Seer, which seers are prophets that see visions. We got Twilight Drover. We got Angel of Glory's Rise. We got Celsnia Sanctuary. And for the last card, shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris Baxter. Thank you for giving me this card, bro. The Frazetta card. The legendary Frazetta card. I think from 1991. Gnarly. Farewell, everybody. Man, I love the art on that. It's so gnarly, huh? The values are insane. Anyway, farewell, everybody. Man, they're gnarly, dude. These Bible stories are gnarly. Gnar, dude. Okay, let's get into writing. I need to take like a little breather just from. It's oh my goodness, bro! These Bible studies are just like, man, they take a long time. I'm literally trying to speed them up, and like, man, they still take a long time. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if I should like do these Bible studies like this. Should I just like split them up in a bunch of days? Like, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Can I see the chat? I think I can. Cheers, everybody out there. Let's drink some coffee. Or if you don't like coffee, you can drink some water. Whatever you're drinking out there, right? Man, I can't even see the past chat. I'm sorry, everybody. I wish I could see your guys' messages. Oh, Twitch app's all messed up. Okay, let's get into riding. Let's try and learn as many tricks with our hands up in the air, I guess, right? Let's try to lift up our hands, even on the bicycle. Tricks. There's actually a lot of flatland tricks. What I think one of the ones that would probably take the longest to learn is the backpacker. There's a backpacker where I saw someone do a backpacker and they hook they hook this peg or something on it, and you could do like a cross looking trick in a backpacker or something. It's gnarly. Like, it'd be cool to see someone do like a backyard. That's what I want to see. I want to see someone do a backyard no-hander. I want to see someone do a cliffhanger into a backyard no-hanger, into a backyard no-hander, into somehow you get into a backpacker no-hander. Like, that would be insane. I don't know how you guys would do it, but I know someone would. There's flatland riders that'd probably do it right now. Or it's home good. That's probably like 5 years from now, maybe even longer than that to even get to that point. Okay, let's see here. This one. It's kind of cool today. Oops, sorry. Adjust this thing a little bit, and we can start riding the bicycle. Bicyclette. Oh wait, let's put some music on. Will today be the day we land the locomotive? Oh, it'd be cool if we could land the locomotive, man. Oh my goodness. This stream's a weird stream, isn't it? I also did replace that light. It's actually working now, so it's like brighter in here. It's like way brighter in here now. Okay, let's practice backyard no-hander. Just I wonder if that's a Smith decade. I feel like that's a Smith decade, almost. That was a pretty close one. Doot, doot, doot. Dude, how do I get this trick more consistent? You know, I honestly cannot even imagine doing this trick like in a contest or something. It's way too inconsistent. Oh shit, empathy. What you doing, bro? What you doing, bro? Did you go to the jam, bro? Was that fun? Let's see. Smith decade is from a half lash position. And the wheel tilts. The guy from Reclamation was teaching them at the jam. You need a longer peg on that side, huh? Dude, what's this trick called? Dude, I think I figured out. Dude, there's like a body varial trick I figured out. Check this out. Is this like a trick? Like, do people do this? I think it might be like a stubble duck or something. I don't know. But it's like that same thing that I'm doing. I'm doing the same rounding, but check it out. I feel like I could do a body varial from it. So you start off like this, and then you go like. What is that? A trick right there? What is that? Is that a stubble duck? I think that might be a stubble duck, right? Or is that just some? I feel like I've never seen anybody do that though, so I don't know. But I feel like I can. I haven't landed one yet, but. Oh, just land like that. Oh, you got to hang out with Ryan? You were struggling with locomotive because the peg is too short on that side? You think? Should get another one. I guess it would. I guess if I did have a longer peg, I could maybe like. I guess my foot would be out a little bit more. Maybe I could get. Maybe it would get into a different angle. But yeah, I did want to kind of like land this like body varial thing. It's gonna be so cool. Like I feel like I could do it if I just kept trying it. Oh, that'd be so cool. I literally think that's doable right there. I've never seen anybody really do it though. But I know it's people have done it, right? I'm so close to landing it. Yeah, it's ever there. Oh, it's all good, bro. Sometimes I feel like it helps me with my generators. Cause like, you know, I feel like it helps me like pivot on it, you know? Like do that. Cause I feel like sometimes when I have a longer peg, I would like, but I should have like a normal way somewhere. I don't know a normal one. Let's try some locomotives. But I think the locomotives are actually easier than the backyard no-hander to get into.
You had to run extenders. Huh. I guess, now I think about it, because I do see people and they have like those they do like the backyard pivot things, right? Like Trevor Meyer. Huh. What up, unnamed one? Sir Ryan, bro, where's your bike at? You know what I'm wondering, bro? I'm wondering, how long do these tricks take most people to learn? Because, I feel like from riding, because I used to ride, street and park and stuff, right? I feel like flatland has been taking me, probably, 20 times long, probably, 100 times longer to learn some of these tricks than, some of the other tricks I did. Because, a lot of the tricks that, when I did ride, park and street a lot more, it's a lot more, just confidence and just, you just got to commit to it, right? And it's there's that fear factor, right? But, with flatland, it just seems like it's just, so finicky. If you're off one little degree, the entire thing doesn't work. I'm wondering, how long did it take, the pro flatlanders to learn some of these tricks, right? That's kind of one of the reasons why I started streaming too, because I kind of wanted to just see how long it took to actually learn some of these tricks, right? Because they're taking a really long time, and the pros just make it look like it's really easy. That's the confusing part, right? Because a lot of these tricks, I was like, oh, that's probably not that hard, right? And I'm still stuck on them. I'm like, what the heck? You guys are crazy. You guys did not tell me this was this hard. Same with flatline, it depends on your mentality. The pros ride 3 to 8 hours a day. Yeah, that's gnarly. I can't even imagine doing 8 hours. I feel like you'd have to eat so much. I would have to eat so much food just to have that much energy. I feel like I don't eat enough. I need to eat more. I feel like that's a ride out too. Darn locomotive's been getting me. The locomotives and then the backyards. But it's fun. It is fun. Lately I've been just trying to learn these hard tricks. Or hard tricks for me. I think they're hard. Some people probably think they're really easy. That's the other weird thing about flatland, right? Some people told me the funky chicken was really easy. And I honestly think the funky chicken is harder than the gyrator. Because like people would tell me, oh yeah, funky chicken's easier than the gyrator. And I thought the funky chicken's harder than the gyrator. I don't know. I just feel like I was more like, I don't know, I was just more, I think I have more like a back wheel thing than the front wheel. Let's try funky chicken tail up. Funky chickens are hard for me. People do them like they're nothing. That's so ridiculous. Why can't I do it? You're on a huge offset. All your front wheel tricks are going to feel hard until you switch. If you're doing it, but you need to go in a circle to keep stable. Yeah, that's the weird thing is I don't know how to go in a circle. Cause like even if I like, for some reason I just can't go in a circle. I don't know why. I always just start scuffing it straight. Even if I start it like that, right? Here, I'll try and go in a circle. See, it just goes straight. I don't know why. It might be my offset. It might be my fork offset. Or I need to like turn it down or something. Now, let me try and carve it down. For some reason, it just doesn't want to. It just doesn't want to go in a circle. It's so weird. Oh, you know what? I wonder if you have to kind of like turn your bar. Huh. Actually, I think that's what it is. You almost have to like turn. Come on. Don't usually suck. Oh, it's so bad at them. So scuff and keep the wheel toward the ground. Yeah. Yeah, I need to learn how to go in a circle. Because I do, but here's the other thing is I saw Thomas that does the here, let me show you the clip of him. He went in like a straight line when he did the tail whip. Let me show you. I wonder if this dude still rides. I don't know if he still rides or not, but like if you look up Funky Chicken Tail Whip, this is the only dude with a clip of it. See, like it's crazy. This dude right here, he's the only guy on YouTube with a clip. I know a lot of people have probably done the Funky Chicken Tail Whip, but this is the dude that got me wanting to do it, right? This is 11 years ago. It's crazy. But he doesn't, when he funky chickens, he goes in a straight line. So that's kind of what like kind of got me maybe learning it the wrong way, because like he was doing it in a straight line, you know? Or I think he's doing it in a straight line. I actually haven't watched this in a little bit, but dude's also super ripped. Look how ripped that dude is. He is kind of going a little bit of a circle. He's kind of going a little bit of an arc. But it's just weird because this dude's the only dude with a clip of it. But he also has 0 offset forks. He has the small stem. He has flatland bars. But yeah, when I saw this clip, I'm like, what in the world? People are actually doing a funky chicken tail. It was ridiculous. Is that it? I think he lands it. Like, or right here. Oh, he does go in a circle when he lands it, huh? You know what? Maybe I don't have a big enough room. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I don't have like enough like arc, because it kind of feels like he's like going in a straight line, and then he starts like doing like a bigger circle arc, right? I might not have enough room in here. Yeah, that's the dude that made me want to learn that trick. He does it like super solid. You can tell it's a hard trick because, I mean, if that dude had trouble even doing it right there, like, oh, inconsistent land. Your frame is huge for this. I know. I need to get a smaller frame again. I actually really miss my old bike. I miss my old frame, but I snapped it in half. I did ride outside yesterday a little bit. The problem is that I open up the garage, like it's like, I don't want to like dox it too much. Someone should make a how-to. If you're out there needs to be a how-to on how to do this trick. Because this trick is freaking hard, man. I don't know how people do this one. And you just gotta get it down. You want to go up to a 21? Isn't that what Matthias is riding? I think Matthias is riding at 21, right? I'm trying not to do gyrators. I always just end up doing gyrators. So today I'm kind of just like working on tricks I'm not good at. I'm practicing this one too a lot. Well, not a lot, but a little bit more than usual. Almost did one yesterday. Oh. I put a 52 reach on my 20.5. I mean, I think my next frame is going to be that Colt Tech frame. I think I'm going to run the 19.9. The reason why I want to go down, because this is a 20.75, but if I do get that other frame, it makes cliffhangers easier. Because like I can't cliffhanger with my bars like forward, right? I had to learn how to hang five like this, to get behind the seat. I guess I still can maybe do that, but it's like harder. Like I'm reaching for it. Ben rides the Colt Tech frame. What other ones was I working on? Oh yeah, I was working on the elbow glide. See now, gyrators I can always land. I feel like if there was a contest truck, I'd probably end up doing some sort of gyrator line. Let's see if I can do that one. Alex, well, one of the reasons is because I don't just ride flatland, because I go to the skate park a lot too. So none of my friends ride zero offset. That's the hilarious thing. I bet nobody in the state that I'm in even has zero offset or like offset. I just need to get some and experiment with it. I just keep thinking it's gonna mess up my like park riding and stuff and my street riding. Do it. Come on. You can do 50 to 20. Does that have the front brake mounts? Or does it have the hole right here? I'm actually wondering if my Colt forks. So I do have Colt forks. I did used to ride these ones. See, I do have these Colt sect forks, right? And I don't know what offset I think these might have no, I think they're just normal, but the reason why I'm not running these ones is because first off, the front cap, it doesn't have the brake thing. Because like in order to have the front brake cable go in, like I can't run it on this, and it also doesn't have the front. I actually was gonna drill a hole right there. I was gonna drill a hole so I could have that rod thing right there, but yeah. I'm wondering what offset these things are. I think these are just normal though, because they look exactly like these ones. Right. I think they're just normal offset. That'd be cool. I may experiment with them. I just feel bad because Ryan actually gave me this wheel. I actually have his old free coaster. This is this is actually Ryan's old free coaster right here. he gave me his old free coaster, but the play on it is just so gnarly, dude. I tried to fix it too, but I mean it's not that crazy, but like I don't know. I use pedal pressure a lot more. I don't know, because now I'm actually at the point where I actually use my how my cranks move, right, for certain tricks. But it's so hilarious thinking that Ryan was rocking this wheel. He probably did so many tricks on this wheel right here. I tried it out, but I couldn't do it. I also have this frame right here. This is the old, this thing's like 30 pounds right here. The old dyno comp, man. Gabe Weed used to ride this frame, which is crazy to think, dude. This thing is so heavy. This thing is a freaking beast, man. But look at the back end on it. It's like, the back end's like freaking like, it's straight up almost as long as the top tube, dude. It's like, I don't know how long this is, but it's just ridiculous. This thing's gnarly. But yeah, Gabe Weed used to ride that. I rode a few days ago. Dyna. Yeah, it's funny. Gabe Weed actually has clips on that exact frame, and I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, he's doing crazy combos too. Like, it's crazy that he was doing it on that frame. See, I could do gyrators. Like, I needed to work on other tricks though. If there's one trick I have down, it's the gyrator. I know I could do gyrator almost every time, but I don't have any other tricks really. So that's why I need to work on other tricks. That's kind of a cool combo though. I guess I'll save that one. They're trying, oh yeah, turbine steamroller. You got this one down? I feel like this is a Matthias trick right here. He does this in a lot of combos. I know Matthias puts this in a lot of combos. Let's just ride it. Oh, I can't do it very good. I want to do like a no-hander. I'm going to do a steamroller no-hander. I don't know if anybody's done that, but gosh, I suck at that one. It's just hard. That's it right there. I want to learn like steamroller bar spin. A normal offset. Hey, I don't know. I learned hang fives. I basically learned all my. I haven't even ridden zero offset at all. I've learned all my front wheel tricks with normal offset. So I don't even know what it feels like. That's the other weird thing. Dude, I want to learn hitchhikers. Why are hitchhikers so hard? What tricks are you trying to work on? I just need to get into one. You're a beast for that? Maybe. Because I see a lot of like, because I see like a lot of the 90s riders and it seems like they didn't run zero offset. Most of them anyway. So I know it's doable. I do want to learn hitchhikers. Oh, I was gonna say. I feel like I can almost maybe learn it if I just keep practicing it a lot. Just keep practicing this part. Watch it. I've never really gotten into one. I'm around on the reverse gaslight. The mixed circle pumping steamrollers, time machines, peg wheelie to lard yard to peg wheelie, upside down as well. Manual upside down, manual opposite foot peg wheelies. Ooh, you actually just reminded me of something. I saw someone do an opposite foot peg wheelie to like bike flip. Switch foot stick beat, or switch foot gyrator. He went like this. He went opposite foot peg wheelie. So you start opposite foot peg wheelie, and then you jump over like this into a switch foot gyrator. I kind of wanted to learn that, but It's hard. So it's hard to even get into it. That's a pretty cool like jump thing though. I think it was Steve Mulder. Yeah, it might have been Steve Mulder. I feel like if I practiced that, I could probably maybe win that. Man, that's hard. You really gotta like jump over that tire. This guy that is doing funk whips, funk chicken whips, is using low height bars and low width. It makes the whip tricks a lot easier. Oh, interesting. That's what Justin Miller could do. I've never really seen Justin Miller. I know when I had like my low bars, right? When I actually had my like, I still have them right here. These ones. I know when I have these bars in my other frame, like, I honestly miss my other bike, dude. That other bike was so fun. But like these bars right here is so little. But I remember when I would do undertakers with this bike, undertakers were so much easier. I miss my other bike. I wish it never broke, but it was kind of cheesy. It was just like one of those like ridiculous looking bikes. But it was so like, cause you know when I like first got into flatland, I was like, do you need that type of bike to do those tricks, right? And I got like all into it, right? So I basically tried to get the same geometry bike as Dave Smith. that black bike that you see, it was basically like I tried to get Dave Smith's bike. I know it wasn't like Dave Smith's parts or whatever, but like I tried to like replicate it because I thought at the time, I was like, do I need that geometry to do those tricks? Like I feel like I couldn't learn it on a normal bike. That black bike is so fun though. He's using a fork stem combo that's 8.3 inches long. Huh. Dark light 108. I mean, I guess that's the thing is we all, because that, you know, it's weird because it's like the same thing with like art, right? Because like, you know, I hear like the same thing with art, like, because it's almost like you have to learn from the people that you liked, and then you just start getting like you know you just start melding all these up. You basically start melding all these artists that you like into your own style, right? Because then it's interesting because if you think about them, like who was Jesse inspired by, right? Because Jesse, I think Jesse actually rode with Dave Smith a lot. He rode with Dave Smith, and then like that whole Long Beach scene, you know. So like that whole Long Beach scene with what's that guy, man? That one dude, I forgot his name. That rode for S&M. He used to ride the Sabbath. Because I started realizing some of those tricks. There's that dude that rode for S&M. I forgot his name. What's his name? He did the Crow's Nest. But him and Dave Smith would kind of do some similar combos. Castillo. Might have been Nick Castillo. I heard his name. What's that dude that did the Crow's Nest? Fudge. I feel bad for forgetting his name. He's the only dude that does the Crow's Nest. You know that Crow's Nest trick? He's like this. He's like that. It's kind of like a backyard no-hander, but his foot's on his seat post, and he's like sitting on top of his bars right here. It's like the Crow's Nest. That trick is crazy. I've never seen anybody else do that trick. We'll try and let's see a function tilt. Actually, let's do some locomotives. And practice. I got into one yesterday. Did it right there. Oh, I'm just so bad at the ride out. Man, those the pros are crazy, bro. How do they do a run and they just land everything? That is intense, dude. I feel like I can hardly even land anything first try, except a gyrator. It's crazy that Kevin Jones did this as his ender in a contest. Crazy. If Kevin Jones could do it in a contest, I could learn it. So that's Kevin Jones. Why don't you ride the bike you ride flat? Oh, I broke that one. I broke the frame. I snapped the frame in half. So this one, I don't know if you can see it, but unfortunately I snapped the frame in half. It's such a crazy break too. Like, here, look at it. Like, it like snapped right here, and like if you look at it on both sides, like the metal like folded or something. Right here. Like it basically just snapped in half. The thing was I started riding like the skate parks and stuff with this one, right? So that's, you know, I think there's something with this geometry, and it like wasn't akin to skate park riding. Here, I'll show you. Like, look at this crack, bro. I literally cracked it in half. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. I've never cracked a frame like that. Like, look at it. Like cracked on both sides. It like just like blew up.
What the? So weird, dude. But I guess that's just like, I was riding a flatland frame and I shouldn't have been riding it at the park and stuff. I started like riding like street and stuff with it too. I started like getting all these like street clips and stuff with it, right? Because I was like, oh dude, this thing's probably a tank, right? And like, it broke on me. I missed this frame. This was 18.75. Yeah, this is 18.75. I tried to copy Dave Smith, because Dave Smith, his frame was the EP, right? And the EP was 18.75. And basically, yeah, so I wanted to basically copy the Dave Smith frame, but I wish I could actually get a frame in 18.75, honestly. So I went from 18.75, like literally the smallest flatland frame, I think. I guess, no, I think you can get just an 18. But yeah, 18.75 to 20.75. But yeah, I really do miss this bike. This bike was so sweet. But I broke it. With the down tube bends? Yeah, I don't know. I think I gotta like keep I think I'm gonna keep rocking this Colt because like I started, because that I like put that Colt sticker on there, right? But I kind of have to like I think I need to keep rocking the Colt stuff because like Robbie gave me this frame, you know. So with this frame, Robbie did give it to me, like over at Colt Crew. Like he did give me this is my second frame I got from Colt, right? And I just feel like the only reason why I put the Colt sticker on that one is because like, you know, I wanted to like test out the flatland frame and stuff, and I'm like, oh dude, this geometry and stuff. So I think the next frame I'm gonna get is that Colt, the Colt Tech one. But honestly, like a bunch of people do that because like I know some of the Mongoose riders, right? And like those Mongoose riders, they get their frames made from what's that dude's name? He makes all the titanium frames. Mike Laird. So a lot of these pros, they do just get their frames made by Mike Laird, and then they just slap like you know, just a sticker on there, like a Mongoose sticker or whatever company they ride for, right? Yeah, the same geometry. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ride this Colt one. Thank you though. It's just, yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have even put that Colt sticker on the other one, but I did. But the Colt sticker just slapped on there, man. I was like, oh dude. And yeah. I wish I got flow. Yeah, I haven't even like they've just hooked it up with a couple frames. The only reason I kind of like got into that was because I knew Nate. So Nate, he grew up in the state that I was in. He lives over in Long Beach, and he was getting hooked up at Colt a while back, and then like he introduced me to Robbie, and then Robbie like just hooked it up with a bunch of parts and stuff. And shout out to Robbie. But Colt still doesn't really have a flat rider. That's the other thing. So that's why I've been trying to think about like trying to mix the flat and the street stuff. I'm just surprised how long I've had this frame. I've had this frame for a long time. Long time. The other thing with this frame that I did is I also taped this thing right here. Because I got this from the other frame, right? Because my other frame, actually I'm going to show it to you. But then you know like how this frame has like the pivot thing? So like see how this one has this thing right here? Right there? Like that one really helps on my pivots. So what I did is I cut this little, because actually I don't have it on this side, right? I don't have it right here. But what I did is I got a piece of wood, right? I got like a piece of wood and like I cut it right there. And then I just duct tape it right here. And so now like when I pivot, right, it's like, you know, I could just pivot a lot easier. Yeah, I told Robbie about it. Robbie has said that he's been thinking about it. That was a while back. That was like a year ago, a couple of years ago, I think. I just wish flatline was promoted more. I think one of the big strengths, like I say in the beginning of a lot of my streams, right? There's a lot of kids right now in the world. They don't have a skate park. They don't have a street spots. They don't have land to build dirt jumps. Think about all the kids right now that are just living in some bunk little towns, right? No skate park at all or something. But they can ride flatland, right? Like, I also kind of feel like the whole global warming thing, you know? Like the global warming, climate, pollution stuff. I think it's like, well, I talked to some mountain bikers and road bikers. It's kind of hilarious, but they, some of these mountain bike companies and road bike companies, they actually like that this climate stuff's happening, because the more that this stuff happens, the more people buy bikes. So I'm all for it too. I don't want it to happen, but I mean, I guess if it gets more people on bikes, then that's cool. And my friend is building next generation, so we got it covered. Honestly, it'd be cool if just more flatlanders just started streaming and stuff. I feel like that would get a lot of people into it. Like, imagine just everybody, cause streaming, you kind of need the Wi-Fi sometimes, unless you have like the expensive internet. And I see a lot of flat riders, and they're riding this exact same surface area, right, in their garage. Or like their backyard or something, right? And the thing about like YouTube and stuff now is you could put just thousands and thousands of hours of content on it. There's not a limit of how many hours you have to, you know. They might change it in the future though, right? Because I bet imagine if everybody just started streaming their entire like sessions and stuff. Like, I don't know, like it'd be crazy, right? Add that trick down. I do every now and then. They're fun. Oh. That'd be cool, huh? I mean, I don't really know. I just feel like it might help more people get into flatland. I honestly do it as a way to kind of help me learn, right? Because there's like a little delay on my stream. So like when I do something, I can like review what I do because there's like a 10-second delay, right? So when I say I honestly feel like since I've started streaming, I've been learning faster because I can like see it in a different angle and I can go, oh, okay. I need to like change that like angle or that body weight position or something. Because I mean, I can do it just on your phone, right? But the only thing is I only have 30 minutes. Actually, I probably have 10 minutes worth of memory on this phone. And then after that, you have to like edit it and like go into it. Whereas like this, I can just like do something, right? Like say this, for example, like you just like you like you practice like fireworks or something. Dude, I almost beat my record. What the heck? Well, yeah, take that for example, right? So like I could like look back and see what I did. Bro, I almost just beat my record right there. Oh my goodness, dude, I did 5 right there. What the heck? I wasn't even trying. And now watch, if I start trying, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Dude, that was like a new PR right there. What the heck? I literally just did 5 fireworks right there. I've never done more than 4. So let's see if I can do it again. Watch, I'm gonna try now. I'm not even gonna be able to do it again. Dude, that was crazy. I can't even believe I just did 5 right there, dude. That trick's weird. Cause I feel like when I really try to just do a bunch of them, I can't do it. But then like if I'm just like, and see that's the other thing, right? That's the other thing of why I started streaming, right? Is because like I wasn't filming that, right? And since I was streaming it, I can just get that as a clip now. Cause like I didn't actually have my phone on there. Cause there's actually a lot of combos that I've landed. And then like, I was just like messing around, right? I was like, oh, I'm just gonna mess around, do this combo. And I end up landing it, bro, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I try and do it again, I can't land it again. But you know, it's weird. I'm just surprised more people aren't like streaming the athletic stuff. Because there's a bunch of athletes out there, bro, and they train a lot. Like, they could be streaming. There was one dude that was doing rock climbing. That was another sport that I was into. I was into rock climbing when I was younger. It'd be cool if I had like if there was like a rock wall on here, boulder board. There was one dude on Twitch that was rock climbing, but I don't know how now. Okay, let's do the hardtail whip. The hardtail whip's the funky whip. That one's the hard whip for me now. I'll see you guys do this one. It's freaking hard. I'm just bad at funky chickens. I'm like trying to do a funky chicken trick and I can't even do funky chickens very good. I think I just gotta learn it like that, huh? Just do this 1,000 times. Oh. I need to do that. Dude, that trick is freaking crazy looking.
The trick just looks so weird. So far, I think this is the hardest hill I've tried to learn. Get into it. All right. I'm gonna be stuck on this one first. I'm gonna be stuck on this one for a long time, I think. A long, long time. There's the other one though. Dude, have you been practicing this thing? Have you made one of these things? You gotta make one of these things. I feel like this has been helping me with the hang 10-9ers. So if you're out there and you want to learn, I think this helps you with cliffhangers too. Come on. Come on now. It's kind of scary at first. But once you get into it, it's like not bad. It's just scary hopping onto it. It's kind of hard though. I think it's kind of hard. Oh. Just gotta put your weight evenly. I suck at this thing. Come on. Oh, this is like scary. It like doesn't seem like it would be scary, but it's kind of scary. I can't even get into it. There we go. That only took me 20 tries. I have like 90 on Apo. I just probably need to put more PSI in here. Yeah, I don't see how Joel's doing like a freaking turbine. You can somehow turbine and go fakie. I saw him and figured out how he does that. You just gotta like get that right carve. Oh. It's scary. Like I think like Joel I think he like uses his body weight like this. And then he like shifts it like that and he starts like going backwards. And then he can like shift it again. And then go like forwards. Yeah, he's turbining. I'm wondering, like, how many other flatlanders do this thing? I think it's helping with this trick. Let's see. I'd like to think it's helping me with this trick, but actually I don't know. Because the bike, I feel like the bike weight is just so noticeable. Man, I haven't even landed. Oh, I guess it did land a 5 whip. Almost. There's something I'm trying to learn today. Oh, yeah. Trying to get back here in the handers. Just rolling, it's easier. But I honestly feel like rolling it would be easier. Yeah, I need more space. I kind of almost feel like rolling might even be easier in the backyard. Maybe I should just learn how to like just one scuff at the double foot roll. Man, that trick's hard. You make it look so easy, huh? Oh, this thing's all messed up. No. It sucks because I've landed one of these. I can't land another one for some reason. I honestly feel like the locomotive is actually easier to get into now. It's more like easier because I feel like the locomotive, because like with the backyard I have to go boom, take this hand, put it right here, take this one, and then scuff it off and then go into it, right? Whereas like the locomotive, I just go doom, put my leg over like that, and then get into it right away. There's actually less things you have to do for the locomotive. I know there's a ride out like that too, but that ride out's hard. get that right angle. Just gotta get that right angle and that right scuff. Brutality. On that one. One day all these tricks are going to be in a line. That was crazy. What other ones was I working on? I guess I was working on upside down tail whips. Makes me wonder, what are other flatlanders doing at this exact same moment, huh? Upside down to it. messed it up. Oh, fuck. Almost kind of got it. Fuck. There's just so many things in that combo. It just gets me tired. But that's probably my longest combo right there. I don't think I've done it from a Hank 5 yet, but I could put another couple bar spins in there. And there's also an ender part I could put in, because there's like, at the end of it, I want to go, so like this, yeah, and then Undertaker. And you can do regular generator into a whole bunch of lines. That was a good one. That part's hard. I always mess up right there. What's up, man? How are you doing? Doing pretty good, man. Practicing. Just practicing. Trying to do this long combo, string combo, but I feel like if I did have like a competition run, that'd probably be it right there. But I can't land it. I can hardly even land it. It would be like, it'd take me like all day to land it. So, but if I could do it I think if I could do like, if someone was to say like what's my most tricks I could put together, I think that's probably the one. But essentially I want to do this. I want to go, this is my dream run. Maybe like go up in here, go up in here, do a steamroller, right? Steamroller, fakie steamroller, into drop down to funky chicken, right? Funky chicken, drop down, go like this, into that, into this, into swivel, all the way around to my crank like this, and then go up in here, and do the no-handed one, and then go down, dump truck, into this, that, this one, bottom set right there, into this, this, that, up, into that, into Undertaker, something like that. I still didn't learn for the bike nut. Did you try to do what I was telling you? So I think the main one is to like figure out the ranges, right? So you go to the front, and you go all the way to the back. Right? And you lift up. Right? Yeah, I'm trying to like fall back, yeah. Yeah, that's what you should try. Trying to think of what I've been with. You also probably want to make sure your bars are in the right place. Your bars might be like really far back, right? See how my bars are kind of like straight with my forks? They're actually a little bit angled forward. Your bars might be like super back like that. That might make it harder to lift up. So you try to make it like straight with your fork. Some people rock their bars with their like kind of like Chicago bar, where this is actually at a different angle like that. But I like to have like mine like level with my fork, but just a little bit more forward. I have to straight like, oh, I have it straight like you. Yeah, you just can't look it up that high. Yeah, you kind of have to like use your momentum to like push it back. Oh yeah, did you make sure that the first thing that you need to figure out if you're left foot forward or you're right foot forward, right? Because that's going to change a lot of stuff up. Because if you're trying to do it like, also you need to make sure that your cranks are straight, right? Because you might be trying to do it with your cranks like this. You gotta figure out if you're right foot forward, if you're like that, or if you like that, right? There's going to be one way that feels a little bit more comfortable to you. And then make sure that your cranks are like straight like that, like parallel. And it's just like, you know, you're probably doing this, because that's what I was doing a lot, right? You know. But see like how I'm like really stiff? But see how I put my, you can like put your momentum and then like lift your back, lift it up. I was trying to do like you, but maybe it takes time. Yeah, maybe. Should be able to do it. Just keep practicing. I mean, what you could do too is you could practice the wheelie thing too. You could practice this one. You know, where you see how I'm like lifting up with the, like where you like lift up with the pedal, you know, like where you kind of like, you know, push forward like that, just to get comfortable. You know, like going like this. Right? Yeah, we go out and practice. But there's also the other thing is, there's a lot of tricks you don't have to learn how to bunny hop, you know. Like even like the style that we're doing on the stream, right? Like there's a lot of tricks I don't even bunny hop, right? So it's not like you have to bunny hop, right? Because I mean, you could like learn like kick flips, so you can learn this trick right here, right? I'm not even bunny hopping right now, right? If you like go like this, right? You learn that. And the thing about like this one is like how to do the kick flip. It's like you just go up and see how my cranks are like straight. Like you just bring your crank up just a little bit like that, and then see how like there's like this angle right here. You kind of angle your pedal down like that, and you could scoop it up with your foot like that. So like, you know, you just angle your pedal up just a little bit like that, and you just scoop it down, and you know. And the thing about this, you should probably wear shin guards if you do this one. I know I just needed my life because, you're trying to learn bar spin. Yeah, bar spin. Bar spin actually took me a long time. I can't even bunny hop bar spin. That's the other thing. Like what you could do too is you can learn these ones. So you learn, like you take this hand right, and you put it right here, see like that. You go over here. You take this hand right here, you put it over here, and you did a half bar right there. I think that's a good one. Before you like do, you know, like before you learn this one, right? Because also you can learn it without bunny hopping too. You can do this one as well. You don't have to bunny hop, right? I forgot that I do this. I forgot you can even do this. Yeah, you don't have to bunny hop. You can just like. and then when you get good at it, you can do like the lift up one. Right? And then that one, I kind of feel like I'm just like busting it around. Like, see, I'm taking this hand and just like busting it around. Some people don't do that. Some people do the flick. But like, I feel like the one where I'm not lifting up, I'm like busting it around, right? Like busting it around. And some people do the flick. I kind of do a little mixture of both. By the way, how can your bars turn like that? Because I have two brakes like you and I can't turn it 360. Oh, you know the thing is, you might, well the thing is I'm running this gyro system right here, right? I don't know if you can see that. It's this thing right here. And basically what it is that it's a bearing system and it's kind of like split in half, right?
So it's actually a very ingenious mechanism. So what it is it's two cables that run down here, right? And then it goes into a bearing system right here that's able to spin around. And from this is where it catches right here, right? And then there's also like little pulley things down here. So it allows you to, basically just do that forever. And still have your brakes working, right? The thing what you might have a straight cable, right? And so the straight cable goes out like this, right? And the thing about it is if you do a bar spin, right? I wish I had another bike with it. I can't really show you very good. But if you have like a bar, let's see, I guess I can maybe have a cable right here. So see, like you probably have a straight cable, so it's probably like that, right? So see when I do a bar spin, see how my cable is curled up right there? The thing what you have to do is you're gonna have to do a switch bar spin to get it free again, right? See how it's now how it's like free again? So if you do a bar spin, you're gonna have to do another bar spin, a switch bar spin to get it like that. Yeah, you can learn the one bar spin, or you could just take your brakes off. That's the other thing. I feel like most people don't even ride with brakes right now. I think that's actually another thing. I feel like a lot of people, they stop riding bikes because their brakes get messed up. So maybe you should just take your brakes off, Because I feel like if you mess up your wheel, or you mess up your brake pad, or you mess up like something with your brakes, I'm wondering like if a lot of kids just stop riding because their bike got messed up or something like that. So you could take all this stuff off. You don't have to run brakes. I just like running brakes because I like doing a lot of tricks with brakes. But you don't have to run all this stuff. You can just keep it all bare. What other tricks could you learn? You can learn the endo. The endo's a really big one too. You can learn this one. You can do this one right here. I think this is a really big one. Right, you can just lift it up. So this one's just the front brake right here. You just press it and you just kind of lean forward. And then from this one, you can learn fakies. So you can do you can do endo, right? Like I feel like that's what you can learn too. You could do endo, right? You could do endo ET. You can learn this one. Endo ET. I do those a lot. And that one's just like pedaling forward. And then from that one, from the endo, you can learn endo to fakie, right? Endo to fakie. Because the fakie takes a while, I think. Most people learn. No, man, I'm scared to stop without brakes because you have to throw the back wheel to the side. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not that scary. It's honestly about the same speed, maybe a little bit slower, but because all you have to do is you don't really have to you don't have to do that. You just put your foot down, right? If you didn't have brakes, or you can you could slow it down like that with your foot in the back right here. But generally, you just put it down. And then, another thing, if you have pegs, I feel like the peg wheelie is a big one that people learn. Like this trick. This isn't a trick you don't need a bunny hop. So you get on your back pegs like this, right? You should just get good at just riding like this. Just get good at riding with your, like this, right? And you can just lift it up like this. Right? That's what you should start learning. And you're gonna get into flatland. What other trick? I'm trying to show you all the tricks that you could probably learn. You can learn the tricks, yeah. This is like one of my first flatline tricks. You learn this one. And see this one, I'm like pressing the front brake right here. And then you have to make sure your seat post is up here and like that. And you can hold it like this, right? That one's a good one. I feel like you should learn this one right here. But you have to have your seat post like high and then your seat angled out like this to where you can put your hand in your, like see how I'm putting my hand in my seat like that? You need to like set your bike up to where your seat post is like able to like, you know, you can do that. But this is like my first flatline trick right here. I don't have the first one. And then if you learn this one and you just learn how to balance that, right? Balance it. You can do backwards. I still do this trick, and then you can learn the no-hander. I literally still do these tricks. It's hilarious. But what if I was rolling down the hill? Yeah, it's kind of the same. If you're rolling down the hill, it's just you gotta like, I guess it depends on how fast you're going. Because I mean, if you're booking it down the hill, it's gonna be a little hard, but. What other tricks could you learn? I think the peg wheelie is a big one. You should just learn how to ride in a rocket manual like this. Just learn how to ride in a rocket manual like this. And just ride like this. And then I think like learning the peg wheelie. Yeah. That's a good one. Because you can learn the peg wheelie like this. And then you can start off with this. Just put your foot right here. Right? You can just practice it like this. And then the other thing is you can also practice this with your bars like this too. You know, you could do you can learn like this. Right? Do you know how to do a 360? Yeah, I know how to do. I could do a 360. I haven't done a 360. It's kind of weird doing a 360 in here. I can do a 360 though. Let's see if I can do one. I've only done a couple in here. I'm always scared when I hit my head on that thing. But at 360, you need to do a bunny hop. So it's kind of hard to do it in this tight area. What you could do is you can learn how to tail tap too. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing. You can learn the endo to tail tap. So you can learn the endo like this, right? Now you can do endo to tail tap, right? You can also just learn this. You should just learn this too. And then like from that one, you can actually do that one too on your back pegs as well. So you can actually learn on your back pegs too. Yeah, the endo's a good one. I probably do so many. I do so many endos still. I do endos for a lot of my tricks. I don't know. Let's see. What other ones could you learn? I think the half bar would be good. Just learning the half bar. I think just learning like, you take this hand, you put it over here, right? I think that's a good one. And then you can ride. Oh yeah, you can also learn how to ride like this. Just learning to ride like this. And then like learning to ride like this. With your bars backwards. And you can take this one right here. This one right here. And you put it over here. Actually, you actually don't. You actually go like this. You take this hand and you put it like this. So you flip it up like that. And then when you flip it, it's like regular, right? I think I did tell you that. So you take this hand, you flip it like this, you put it right here, and then it's like that. I forgot to tell you that. So then when you do that, you can kind of just like go around and take this one like that. All right. I think that's a good one. I think you should be able to learn that one. Take this one, scoop it up like that, put it right here. Huh. Actually, I kind of forgot that I did that. And you go like, yeah. Stuff like that. On the locomotive, I don't know. I haven't landed a locomotive yet. I've been stuck on the locomotive for like 2 years. That trick has been taking me a long time to learn. A long, long time. But we're getting closer. Getting a little bit closer. It's just gotta grind for it. I'm trying to see like what other tricks could you learn? Huh. I feel like the track stand. You should try and get the track stand down. So see how like, you need to like make sure you put your seat up, right? And the thing is you're gonna have to angle your seat out like that, right? Like see how there's these rails? See how there's these rails right here? Well, you get a wrench. Here, I'm gonna show you right now. Actually, not a wrench like that. So what you're gonna have to do is see how there's this thing right here? Like see how there's these rail things right here? What you gotta do is you gotta get one of these crescent wrenches, right? And you have to loosen this thing, right? You loosen this thing up and you're gonna have to push this up, right? Push it all the way, because your frame's probably too big. So you're gonna have to push your seat all the way up, right? And then you tighten it back down. And make sure like when you tighten it back down, it's like level with your bar, right? And so when you can grab it like that, right? When you can grab it like this, you know, you can balance it. So you press your front brake right here. And you can just, and you can like really like learn a bunch. I feel like this helped me learn hang fives. Just doing this, right? And you can do the no-hander one. Oh yeah, I do start with the end. Yeah, actually I do an endo. You're actually right. Yeah, I do an endo. Actually, I do an endo like this. So that's actually how I start. I endo like that. And then I get into it. I'm trying to see what other tricks you learn. You could also learn the slider. I think the slider is a good one to learn. So it'd be like, because I do these ones, I'm just showing you all the tricks that I think you could probably learn. So this one you can like, so if you start riding with your in rocket stance, right, like right here, you can endo, press your front brake and endo, and just start like learning how to fake you like that. feel like that one. Those are like, I'm literally showing you all these tricks you could do without having to bunny hop. You don't have to bunny hop, right? I think that's the other weird thing. I think a lot of people, they think you have to learn how to bunny hop to do BMX tricks, right? But you don't have to bunny hop. I honestly feel like most flatland tricks, you don't even bunny hop. That's the weird thing, huh? But if you're gonna ride street and like park and stuff, basically you have to learn how to bunny hop. Yep. What time is it? I think that 180 is the most cool trick. That's why I want to learn it. Yeah, the 180. I guess the 180 does look like a cool trick, right? But the 180, the thing is the 180 is going to take you a long time to learn. Because you have to learn how to bunny hop, then you have to learn how to fakie, and then you have to learn how to do the 180, right? So it's not only you have to bunny hop, right? So like with this trick, right? Like with the 180, right? Like you kind of have to learn how to bunny hop. You have to learn how to bunny hop, right? Just learn how to. Right, that. And then you have to learn how to like fakie, right? And then the fakie can just like go up. Right? And that's how I learned. Well, I guess I didn't learn. I think I learned how to fakie off like a quarter pipe like this. Right? And then basically how I started learning it, and then like how I learned how to 180, right? Is I learned how to 180 just like, I learned it off of a curb. I learned it off the edge of a curb. But like how I do it, it's like you just start 90ing, right? So you're gonna probably start doing it like this, right? And you keep doing it a little bit more and more and more, right? You just keep doing that until you just start doing it. Well, with the 180, you gotta kind of have to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to bunny hop. The 180 is a trick. You gotta bunny hop. But the 180 does. The 180 actually is a very strange looking trick, huh? Just riding backwards. It's a very weird looking trick now I think about it. Well, you should just get into flatland though, since you don't have a skate park, right? Remember, I think you said you didn't have a skate park, right? You just learn this. This is the magic of flatland. You can learn it basically anywhere. But you can learn all that stuff like without a skate park. Like the 180 and stuff. I need to eat. I don't even think I landed anything today. Darn. I did do a Bible study on like taking your hands off. Let's see if I can land a stick bee, just for a thumbnail. Caught it wrong. But I did do a bunch of bar spins on that one.
Well, at least I landed that one. That's just for a thumbnail. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm out of here. It is time to head out. It was kind of clean. It was kind of janky. Sometimes like that bar spin that I do, like I can't. Sometimes it's like I land it like with my bars big, right? And I have to like correct it. Like I have to do like this dump truck thing to correct it, and it like messes me up kind of. I can still land it, but the best ones to do is when you do the bar spin and like it spins and then you land with the bar small, because then you can just get into the no-hander right away. Anyway, we're out of here. Later. Let's see here. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. I might ride tomorrow. I might go to the skate park, so I don't know if I'm going to stream, but generally it's been... Farewell, everybody. Peace out, empathy, if you're still in here, dude. Keep shredding, bro. Keep shredding the gnar. Keep shredding the gnar. Later, bro. Whoop. I'm out of here.